What's up everyone, and welcome to the channel. So looks like it's safe to say spring is actually finally here permanently. Shaping up to be a beautiful day here in Delaware today. Nice blue skies, trees starting to get leaves, so start having shade for washing the car in the afternoon. Actually took the car out last night, went to have some seafood, and the one thing I hate about spring and summer, it's kind of a love-hate relationship. You know, beautiful weather to be out driving, wash the car, clean it, but at the same time you also end up with all of the bugs. So you know, it's very difficult for me when I go out, because then I immediately feel like I have to you know, clean the car. So this will be getting washed later today, but that's not the point of today's video. Today's video is going to be an unboxing of the Fitbit Ionic wearable device, smartwatch, activity tracker, whatever you want to call this thing. The reason I specifically picked Fitbit is because you know, good, bad, indifferent, whatever the case may be, my phone of choice is actually a Windows 10 mobile. And yes, you can comment below about how Microsoft sucks at mobile and all that other fun stuff, but at the end of the day, I still choose to use it. And as such, Fitbit is one of the only companies that actually, at least at this point, still support the platform, you know, for pairing the device and you know, keeping apps up to date and things of that nature. So it was one of the reasons why I decided to go with the Ionic. So like I said, this is going to be an unboxing and initial impressions of the Fitbit Ionic. I already talked about why I picked this in particular, but you can see it comes in a pretty nice packaging. You know, this is billed as a smartwatch and an activity tracker all in one. You know, it works with obviously Apple and Android, and like I said, Windows Mobile, at least for now. So let's go ahead and open it up. Okay. So in the case, it's going to be probably pretty uneventful from the perspective of what's included. Got the paperwork, safety instructions, and limited warranty. I'm assuming this is some kind of quick start guide. I'm not talking about how to charge it, that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna put that back away. Okay. Let's go ahead and take the device out itself. So here's the device. I opted for, I believe it's the charcoal and dark gray one. They do have a couple of different color combinations of the device and band. You can buy a bunch of bands after the fact. So, you know, if you don't like the band, there are other options for that. Let's see, what else do we have in here? Put that back in there for right now. Let's see here. So in here we have, the one nice thing is they do send the small and the large band. Of course, I don't know which one's on, so this is the small one. So it comes with the large already on, and they do provide a small band for individuals that have smaller wrists. And then within this is going to be, I'm assuming, the charging cable. And I'm correct. So there's that. And then is there anything else in here? I don't think there's anything else in here. Nope, that feels like that's it. Nothing else in the box. So like I said, pretty uneventful from an accessory perspective. Basically, charging cable, small wrist strap if that's what you need, and the device itself. So let's go ahead and see if this will turn on. I have no idea which buttons do what, so this is going to be a trial by fire just to see if it'll actually come on. I'm assuming the single button, so you can see it is booting up, it appears. Wow, kind of surprised. I would assume it would boot faster than that. So I guess maybe I can't do anything unless it's actually paired. Alright, I'm gonna figure out how to get this paired. Okay, originally I had wanted to do this video as just an unboxing and a quick demo of the device. Unfortunately, I quickly learned that you can't really do anything with this thing until you pair it to a phone or a tablet or some other smart device. So ended up having to go through that process. So I figured instead of showing all that on camera, what I decided to do was do the pairing, get everything set up, go through some of the customization and stuff, and basically use the Ionic for a couple of weeks now, and you know, give you my first impressions on it. So first thing I did was, you know, in the unboxing part, you saw the standard bands that come with it. I did not like this band, you know, at all, so I decided to change it out. It's actually pretty easy to change. You just press in on that little, you'll be able to see it, there's a little button there, and if you press in on that, it releases a latch and it comes off the face of the watch. You know, if you're using the Ionic for, you know, serious workouts, swimming, you know, that kind of stuff where you're going to be getting wet a lot, your arms are going to be wet a lot, this is probably the band you want, because it's a, like I said, it's a rubbery, maybe neoprene type of band, so you know, it can obviously get wet and not have any problems. I want to use mine. My Fitbit is going to be used more for like everyday use or everyday life, you know, going to meetings for work and things like that. So I wanted something that was a little bit more classy, I guess, in nature. So I found this metal band online. There's already a lot of aftermarket bands you can get for this. This particular band is really nice because you can take links out of it without any tools. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but there is a little right here. There's a little tab right there, and you actually pull that tab to the side and it releases the pin that's holding that link in place. So you release that link and then you release the other link, and then, you know, you can take that part out and then put the band together, back together, and the part that snaps into the face is pretty easy. It's the same kind of thing. There's a little push button there, and when you push it in, it just locks into place. You don't really have to do anything with it. So that's the first thing I did, was change the band. But the usability of the watch, I mean, like I said, I've been using it now for about 2 weeks. I really like the fact that when you wear it to bed, it automatically detects sleep and tracks the sleep for you. It actually will automatically detect when you're active, and it will actually treat that activity as, you know, well, activity. And it tells you, you know, your heart rate, when your heart rate's in, you know, the range for maximum, you know, fat burning versus, you know, cardiovascular health, that kind of stuff. And it uses information that you put into your profile to kind of determine that, your age, you know, that kind of stuff is how it determines the band that you need to be in for your heart rate to be maximum effectiveness for those different types of things. One of the other first things I did was I changed the watch, the face of the watch. You know, in the app itself, there's all kinds of different watch faces you can use. I like this one. It, you know, it has the time, it has all of the necessary functions and things of that nature, or all the necessary stats that's being tracked. While I'm here, I just wanted to point out, this thing does track, you know, flights of steps, and I find that this is very accurate. You know, I have been upstairs one time today, and you can see that, you know, it actually says 1. I've tried to watch this real close, and it does seem to be highly accurate as it relates to you know, how many times you're going up and down flights. Now, it doesn't count the going down, but it does seem to count the going up, yeah, pretty accurately. So basically, the use of the watch is, if you pull down on the screen, you can see all of your notifications that you've gotten. And you can see you can scroll through them, and if you get to the end, you know, it'll tell you you're up to date, you don't have anything else. If you scroll up from the bottom, that's where you start getting into the individual activity tracking. So you can see the number of steps, distance, floors, total calories. And this lightning bolt, if I remember correctly, is the number of active hours you've had during the course of the day. So it's an interesting stat. I mean, you know, for me particularly, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense for me, but anyway, it's there. Then you have your steps this hour, so it actually tracks the band. I've actually had the Ionic off of my wrist for a while. I'm getting ready to do this part of the video, so that's why it's not showing anything. But then it shows you, you know, basically in a 9-hour window, it breaks down your goal for the day. So, you know, the way mine is currently set up is it's trying to get me to do 250 steps per hour. So, you know, it basically tells me I'm in hour 1 of 9 for the day. And then the last thing is your heart rate. So, of course, right now this isn't reading correct because it's obviously not on my wrist. But, you know, you get your resting heart rate, and it will show you what your current heart rate is if it's actually on. Then you got some settings you can turn on, so you can turn on tips and tricks and inspiration. I've turned these off because it's kind of annoying when you first go into this, because what happens is at the very top of this screen there's a tip, and like I said, it gets kind of annoying when you're just looking for the stats real quick. So the left button acts as the back button. So now you go back to the home page, well, I guess your clock face, whatever you want to call it. And then if you start scrolling from the right to the left, you scroll through the apps that are installed. So you can see, you know, basically I installed a weather app, so hopefully, I don't know if this is synced to my phone lately, so it hasn't. So you can see you get the message about syncing the device to the phone to get the weather. So this also just came up with telling me, you know, I still have my 250 steps left for this hour. Go back. So yeah, the weather is not going to show anything right now because it's the phone and the watch have been separated for a while. So you go back, and I mean, you can scroll through all these different apps. They're pretty cool apps. You have a calculator app that you can run, you can install. All this stuff is done through the Fitbit app. So you know, you go through, you can use a calculator. I mean, you know, it's all kind of standard stuff. So that's how you get through the apps. One of the things that's pretty cool about this is if you hit the upper right hand button, it will, okay, maybe not. So it takes you into exercise. I guess because I was actually on the screen where the exercise app was listed, that's why I wouldn't do it. I can't remember what the bottom button does, so we'll see here. So that goes to your, I guess you can, I don't know if you can change those to be like hotkey apps or whatever, but it does appear that the top button is that app and the bottom button is that app. So I don't know if it's anything to do with you know, settings. I haven't come across those particular settings in the app on the phone, so I don't know. But I can tell you that, you know, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I choose to use a Windows 10 mobile phone. And the device does sync pretty good with that device. I'm getting Facebook Messenger notifications on the watch. I'm getting regular text message notifications on the watch. I'm getting, you know, different Fitbit notifications on the watch. You know, so it definitely works very well with the Windows 10 mobile device. I'm sure the experience obviously is probably better on an Android device or an iOS device, but like I said, I prefer the Windows 10 mobile, so you know, that's my choice. As far as the rest of this, you know, it's pretty comfortable. The band, you know, like I said, I changed it out. I like this metal band better. I had to take out 2 links for it to fit right on my wrist, but when it's on, it's pretty comfortable. I've slept with this on for every night that I've had it, and you know, it has tracked the sleep pretty accurately. And well, I guess I can't really say it's accurate because I really don't know, but I do, when you look at the app for tracking your sleep, it measures when you're in REM sleep, when you're in deep sleep, when you're in light sleep, and when it thinks you're awake. But it's pretty accurate. I mean, I know that I have remembered right before waking up that I would be in the middle of having a dream, and when I would check the app, it would show that I was in REM sleep right before waking up. So, you know, I think that it's fairly accurate. I mean, obviously, without wearing this while you're doing a sleep, you know, a true sleep study through, you know, a doctor or something like that. Who knows, you know, how accurate it is, but my impression is it seems to be fairly accurate. It's definitely a nice device. You know, a couple of things that I've noticed is the battery life. I think on their site they kind of say it should be good for I think 4 days. What I'm finding is I'm lucky if I get 2 days out of it. Again, I'm sure it depends on how many times you interact with the device, how many times the screen comes on, that kind of stuff. I believe this thing has GPS built into it. I think the big difference between this and the Fitbit Versa, which just came out, is the Versa uses the GPS built into your phone, so it has to be paired with your phone in order for, you know, GPS to work for, you know, either biking or jogging activities, whereas this has GPS built into it. So all in all, I definitely like the device. I'm going to continue to use this. I mean, I've been through other devices. I had a Vector smartwatch that was, you know, really a pain to use. Sometimes it wouldn't pair with my phone correctly, you know, that kind of stuff. And then I also had both the original Microsoft Band and the second Microsoft Band. And while I loved both of those devices, you know, in typical fashion, Microsoft decided to stop supporting them. And the band was nice from an activity tracking perspective, but it didn't work very well as a smartwatch. You know, the screen wasn't that great from the perspective of trying to read it for the time and all that stuff. This is definitely a very nice screen. It's pretty clear. It's definitely, you know, very reactive for touch, and it responds quickly. So like I said, all in all, I'm pretty happy with the device. So if you're in the market for something along these lines, it's not cheap by any means. It is $300. I actually got this on sale for $250. But if you're in the market for, you know, an activity tracker that has a fair amount of features, it's got its own app store. It does have also Fitbit Pay. I haven't really looked into that yet to see what merchants or what credit card companies support that, but it does have it. So like I said, if you're in the market for a device like this, I personally think it's a pretty good device. So thanks for watching, and have a great day.